I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Developed by Rockstar Games, Grand Theft Auto, or simply GTA for the insiders, is one of the most well-established franchises in the world of video games. Over the past decades, it has become a benchmark when it comes to open world and narrative. It's no wonder that GTA 6 has become one of the most anticipated releases in the industry, even though it was recently announced, and is set to be released only in 2025. So far, the game has only one trailer released, but the audience has already had the opportunity to meet the protagonists, Jason and Lucia. The focus, at least apparently, will be on Lucia. Rockstar has not disclosed mechanics or other gameplay details, which further increases fans' expectations for the release of GTA 6. Rockstar's games have set a new standard of quality when it comes to details. Now, the expectation is that GTA 6 will redefine a new standard of quality in the industry.
It's America. The people here are all spread out, cut off from one another.
Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, promises to bring graphical and gameplay advancements compared to its predecessor, as well as expanding the story of the game's universe. It is the sequel to the acclaimed Death Stranding, released in 2019. Although specific plot details are still scarce, it is expected that Death Stranding 2 will continue to explore and expand the universe established by the first game. The title, On the Beach, suggests a connection to the themes of life, death, and the concept of beaches that was central to the narrative of the first game. The expectation is that the new game will maintain the essence of its predecessor, combining exploration, package delivery, and survival elements in a post-apocalyptic open world. Developed exclusively for the PlayStation 5, the game is expected to leverage the hardware of the new generation, offering high-fidelity graphics, reduced loading times, and support for technologies like ray tracing and 3D audio. Doom: The Dark Ages takes players to a realm besieged by evil forces, where cybernetic dragons and demons threaten to destroy everything. In a dark fantasy setting, the player assumes the role of the Doomslayer, the ultimate weapon against evil. The new game expands the Doom universe with a cinematic narrative, detailing the Slayer's rise as the greatest threat to the armies of hell. The game promises intense battles against hordes of demons in a medieval environment, combining brutal melee combat with high-intensity shootouts. In addition to classic weapons, players will have access to new lethal tools such as the flail and the shield saw to face reimagined enemies from Doom's classic bestiary. The new game also introduces new elements such as the use of colossal machines and winged beasts. After a long 23-year hiatus without news, SNK revealed it will release a new game from the Fatal Fury franchise. As expected, the series has aged very well. The cartoonish art style, with strong traits of Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves, is reminiscent of the most recent titles in the King of Fighters franchise, also owned by SNK. The release window is set for early 2025, although the exact date has not been officially confirmed yet. The full roster of fighters in the game has not been disclosed, but it was confirmed in the character trailer that iconic names like Rock Howard and Terry Bogard will be featured. The game is expected to continue the story of its predecessor, which could end with a sort of separation between Rock and his mentor, Terry. Get ready to lose sleep again in 2025 with Little Nightmares 3, a new adventure full of terror and suspense. The game is the continuation of the acclaimed horror series that has already sold over 5 million copies worldwide. Little Nightmares 3 will bring back the protagonist 6, the yellow raincoat boy who escaped the clutches of the Maw ship in the first game. This time, he will have to face new nightmares in a dystopian and dark world, where hunger, violence, and oppression dominate. 6 will be aided by Mono, a new character also seeking freedom. The game promises to be more frightening and immersive than its predecessors, with incredible graphics and an engaging soundtrack. Gameplay will be based on exploration, puzzle solving, and escaping from enemies, who will be more varied and intelligent. Additionally, the game will feature new mechanics, such as the ability to use weapons and objects to defend or attack. Lost Records' Bloom and Rage is being developed by Don't Nod, the same studio behind the success of Life is Strange. The project is described as the first of the Lost Records franchise. Thus, Don't Nod seems to have big plans for the new IP from the studio. Set in 1995 in the fictional city of Velvet Core, the story of Lost Records. Bloom and Rage will focus on Swan, Nora, Autumn, and Kat, who were inseparable friends in high school, and after 27 years without contact, reunite in less than ideal circumstances that force them to confront a long-buried secret. Swan is an introverted and naive girl who loves her camera, while Nora is the rebel, Autumn the caring leader, and Kat a mysterious and persevering young woman. After a series of events leading to something inexplicable, the sisterhood is forced to promise never to meet again. 27 years later, fate takes the reins and forces the four to confront a secret they left behind in 1995.
My mind fills up into a creek.
Marvel and Skydance New Media, a studio founded by Amy Hennig, former director and writer of the Uncharted franchise, announced their new game, Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra. The project is described as an action-adventure game focusing on narrative and is set to be released in 2025. The game stands out especially for its graphics, demonstrating a very high visual fidelity with the new technologies of Unreal Engine 5. However, it is still unclear how its gameplay mechanics will be. One of the reasons the game offers such realistic graphics is the use of the meta-human technology. Available in Unreal Engine 5, the solution allows for creating characters with very realistic visuals. The common enemy apparently will be the Hydra organization. The trailer shows that the two protagonists were acting in the city of Paris, and both were not very happy with each other's presence. Capcom's classic action-adventure franchise, Monster Hunter, will receive a new game named Monster Hunter Wilds. In the game, each location, monster, and person acts with their own thoughts and motivations, dynamically combining to bring an immersive and ever-changing ecosystem to life. When encountering a giant monster while exploring a location, you can naturally start this mission, allowing for deeper immersion. Your hunter will also engage other characters in fully voiced conversations, deepening your connection with the many people you will meet along the way. In the game, monsters act independently to survive in these hostile environments. In Monster Hunter Wilds, hunters can expect to dive into a vibrant ecosystem of monsters living in nature, including large-scale monster groups that move in herds and packs and interact with each other. Developer Frogwares announced its new project called The Sinking City 2. The new game is the sequel to the game released in 2019 that was one of the studio's biggest successes. Made in Unreal Engine 5, The Sinking City 2 is set in an American city from the 1920s that was affected by a flood. The story has not been detailed by the studio, which is expected to reveal new plot and gameplay elements in the coming months. However, it has already been confirmed that the protagonist is not the same as in the first game. According to the developer, famous for games based on Sherlock Holmes, the idea now is to introduce combat and exploration elements. As a novelty, Frogwares promises iconic monsters based on the creatures imagined by Lovecraft. Additionally, the game will have a detective system that is optional, with clues to be investigated that can help in dialogues and in fulfilling certain missions. Phantom Blade Zero is a third-person action RPG developed by S-Game. The game is set in the Phantom World, a fictional universe that brings together Chinese kung fu, steampunk, occultism, and folklore. It is an action game, closer to a Devil May Cry, but with its own characteristics and identity, and that is very good. In the game, players take on the role of an elite assassin serving the organization known as the Order. Accused of eliminating the group's patriarch, he is gravely injured and has only 66 days to live. Now, he must survive hunters and inhuman monstrosities while seeking a way to avenge the death of his leader before his life runs out. The player character has two main weapons and a pair of secondary weapons, the Ghost Blades, and you can switch between weapons in the middle of a combo of strikes. As a bonus, I bring you Jurassic Park Survival, as the name suggests. The game will focus on survival. The game is new, but the title may bring back some memories for fans of the franchise. This is the title of a horror and adventure project that was supposed to have been released alongside the third film in the saga, but was cancelled in 2001. Only the title was reused, now with a completely new plot. The story involves an InGen researcher named Maya Joshi, who failed to evacuate after the original incidents of the first film franchise and needs to escape from Isla Nublar. According to the game's official website, you will explore all the island's environments, encountering wildlife, various species, and surprising threats not yet revealed. Classic moments from the films, such as the visitor center and a face-to-face encounter with a T-Rex, will be present in the title. This was the list. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.